I thought it was a good Wednesday practice for us. We modified some things and went out in a little bit lighter gear and a little bit shorter, but the guys really worked. Thought it was good work, good practice. You know, we got some guys still nursing some injuries. A few of those guys looked better today. A couple of them still are questionable. So, take some questions.
It's raining out there. I don't know if you're keeping up with the weather report for the game on Friday. What are you anticipating for that? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to mention to the guys that our travel looks clear and good right now, according to our airline. I didn't want them worried about that. And then we've talked a lot about our footwear in wet games. If it's wet, which it could be, that we bring the right gear from an equipment staff standpoint and from a player standpoint, whether you want to change out your cleats, whether you want to change out wet gear for dry gear at halftime, all those type of things. And then in addition, obviously, the offense does wet ball work a couple days during the week to get ready for that. And, you have some conversations about if the field conditions are poor, how does that change our game plan? How would that change their game plan? You have those conversations.
Was this too stormy to want to go outside, or is it just not in the plans today?
Yeah, we felt like if it was just a light rain, we'd go. But then there was lightning cells that would have chased us back in for 30 minutes, and we would have been going in and out, and that just didn't make sense to me.
You talked about injuries. Toot and Chaplin, Ali were all regular uniforms today. Encouraged by them at this point?
Yeah, I think Xavier looks pretty good. Tootin looked better than he did last week at this time. Ali, I think, is still a question. We got a night game. I told him, let's just take it all the way to pregame and see how you're feeling. But I think he and Kelly are still the two guys that are in question.
With Chaplin, are you kind of amazed? I mean, he got carted off the field. When you're watching that happen, you're like, oh man, might be without him for a while. And then he comes in and didn't even really miss a snap.
Standing there, he wanted to walk off at that point. He said, I can get up and walk. And they were like, listen, let's just, as precaution, let's put you on the cart, go x-ray it, make sure everything's good, and bring you back. And so that's what we did.
You mentioned or asked you about the linebacker depth yesterday. Do you feel better about that, or have you guys got some guys coming along?
Yeah, McDonald's out still. George Balance is, I wouldn't say 100%, but he's much closer than he was last week. And then Kelly's questionable. So not a whole lot has changed. We've moved the needle a little bit with George. He doesn't have the experience, obviously, but he's gotten a lot of work and practice, playing the position. So
you mentioned you had Cam Fleming working at will a bit. Are you still doing that, trying to get some depth so that way you feel better?
Yeah, it's two things, honestly. He's out of depth, and we know he's physical. And he's done pretty well. We got excited and said, let's keep him there and see what he can do a little bit. We've practiced Keedy over there some at will, just as an insurance policy. So, I wish our depth was in a better situation at backer.
I think he had mentioned in the spring that he had gotten some reps.
He did. He did.
How much is that helping?
Yeah, most of it's been in our nickel package. Okay. So, against first and second down stuff, not as much work. But I think right now, he's still an option at will if we were to have another injury or two. If Kelly can't go and somebody else goes down, then we would have to consider Keedy going in as well as Cam Fleming.
You mentioned the captain's meeting you just had. What goes on in that? What do you talk to them about?
Yeah, so through the week, I keep notes on what I want to discuss with them in regards to things that you don't discuss with the whole team. Things I want to tell them, things I want to ask them, and then I go through each of the 7 captains and ask them if they have anything. So it's good conversation. Usually we do it in my office, but because of kind of the time crunch and being a different day of the week, we did it on the field today.
We've asked about Kyron and his confidence. You say he's still a confident guy. I'm curious, Yeah, how does he handle some of the struggles or maybe some of the missed throws? I mean, is he a harsh critic of himself? Is that anything you've had to talk with him about?
He is pretty hard on himself. I don't know that it's to a fault. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He doesn't want to hurt the team. He's a big guy on, okay, I made a mistake, how do I fix it? He's really good with the coaches about that. In game and during the week on film, how do I fix it? He's always eager. He spends a ton of time in our facility, watching film, meeting with Coach Bowen, meeting with Coach Christ.
Does he go back from the last game? Does he any spots that he identified that he wants, man, I really wanted that throw back or anything?
Oh yeah, he certainly does. Yeah, but for him, he's really a professional about it. It's why wasn't the throw where it needed to be? Why wasn't it down the hash? Why did I leave it inside? Things like that. I mean, he goes back and he's a good student of the game that way. He's very coachable.
When you, I think we asked you about the pick right after the game, so the guy made a nice play. When you see it on film, in review on that, you come away with the same opinion of that to see it on the different.
Yeah, we had some other things go on with the play from a protection standpoint that would have helped. But, could we throw the ball a little bit different? Could we protect it a little bit better? Yeah, we could do both of those things, I think, and give us a better chance of avoiding the pick. But I also think the kid made a nice play. Kind of a combination of the three things, I think.
Saw Kamari with the arm brace. You expect him to play, and does this opportunity open up an opportunity for Malachi Madison and the balls?
Yep.
In the rotation.
Malachi and Emmett will both make the trip this week. Kamari is unlikely.
I think we saw Montavious practicing at both left and right tackle. We haven't seen much of him, but is he a guy that's kind of coming on for you guys?
He's getting better. He certainly is. It's taken maybe a little longer than I'd like, but we're seeing improvement, and he's gaining some confidence with us.
You mentioned yesterday, obviously, a lot of talks about the Miami quarterback, but he's got a lot of guys around him. When you look at their skill positions, the tight end, the running backs, it seems like they've just got so many guys. What kind of stands out to you about, I guess, their explosiveness?
Yeah, that in itself, they're a super explosive group. He does a great job of getting the ball out, whether it's from the pocket or on the run. He's really good at being on the run and still able to put the ball down the field. And I'm not sure it matters who he throws it to. They all have really good ability, yards after the catch. Sometimes guys are wide open and they can kind of knife through there, but other times they're making guys miss and, turning kind of a routine play into an explosive play. I think they got to be one of the better teams in the country at that.
One or two more guys. Their passing game gets a lot of credit, but they're averaging 200 rushing
Yeah.
with a lot of backs. What challenges do they present with the ability to break the guys in there?
Yeah, let me tell you, they got a really nice athletic offensive line. They've got great size at three of the spots, but they're all athletic. They've got talented backs, including a freshman. They're averaging 600 yards a game. They're throwing it for 300 to 400, but they're also, running the ball for 200. So, I think, their percentage tips towards the pass game, but, into his strengths. But they've shown the ability to run the ball very effectively.
Either in that captain's meeting or individually, have you had the chance to talk with Kyron, obviously playing his cousin Cam Ward this week, just an emotional week coming off of things when you've spoken with him about that?
Yeah, I haven't really, not about Cam himself, no. They obviously have a friendship, and, I'm sure right now the most pressing thing for Kyron is playing well and getting us playing well and, give us a good chance to go out there and win a ball game, against a good group like this. That's where his mind is. I think he's got tremendous respect for Cam, and I'm sure outside of our game, he's very happy for him.
Lath wasn't available again today. Didn't
Say that again?
Lath wasn't available at
Yeah.
Texas State. Didn't dress for the Rutgers game. What's his status?
Lath's not going to make the trip. Yeah, we'll know more following the weekend.